Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Now, for those tuning in, clicking in at this time, I'm Ian Torchetti. This is the Hot Seat, and just to let you know, this is not a paid advertisement, even though we will probably be talking about products throughout this. It will be more for artistic endeavors, things like that, of like what works and what doesn't for certain individuals. So do not think for a moment that we're blasting a certain product. Myself or the man on the phone with me right now, if you could introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Most of y'all know me as RadVikingDad. I'm taking on the moniker of Yonai Ingolfer, the Jarl of TikTok, specifically Norse Talk. But you can just call me Yonai.
Yonai. Okay. Did I say that right?
You did, yes.
Oh,
Yonai.
good. For once I didn't butcher someone's name. That's great. I used to be pretty good at that. But anyway, so for those that have been following you, like, what brought you into the forefront? What got people to pay attention to you? Because I've caught some of your videos, very interesting criteria, very interesting subject matter, and I definitely want to dive headfirst into all of that. But you give us the origin of like how it all got started.
Well, if I'm honest, I downloaded TikTok more or less to just watch videos. I was going to be one of those accounts that had no content, and I just watched videos and things like that. It was just for entertainment purposes, just to kind of keep me occupied whilst dropping a deuce. But I started kind of getting into it and started making videos, and it was fun, but, I didn't really gain any kind of popularity or any kind of recognition until after my video where I started the hashtag Guardian Viking. I started speaking out against bullying because I was noticing that a lot of people who were just on the app to have fun and just do their thing and just be unabashedly them, they were getting all kinds of hate and all kinds of bullying comments, and it didn't sit right with me. So I started the hashtag Guardian Viking, and that's what kind of propelled me forward. After that, I started adopting TikTok kids because there were like these kids on TikTok who were either pagan, witches, or LGBTQIA, who were not getting the support that they needed from home. So I offered to be their TikTok dad.
Sort of like that Alex video that I saw recently of yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Very much so. And the crazy thing is, now I have probably well over 5,000 kids on TikTok who I've adopted, more or less, and my wife, too. My wife has taken on the moniker of Mama Fat because of this. But
so she does support you in this? Yes,
she does.
Good.
She's a TikToker as well. She recently changed her name from Blackwell Witch on TikTok to Hekla Hellsdottir. And the reason for that is she was wanting to kind of change her content a little bit. She was trying to move away from the whole witch talk thing and being seen as a learned elder in the witch talk community, and she wanted to go more to basically being a support for me. Very much like Not a Damn Person is for Iron Sanctuary. She just wanted to kind of be a support system for me.
So the Miss Elizabeth to your Randy Savage.
Exactly. And, the reason she decided to step away from witch talk was, number one, all the drama. But number two, she is currently focusing on our coven that we're actually trying to start up here in Eastern North Carolina, which she's heading. She is going to be the leader of this coven. And so while she's working on getting that off the ground, she's kind of taking a back seat to the whole TikTok thing.
Okay, so pardon my ignorance. Witch talk, is this like just a legit subset of TikTok, or is this like an adopted area for practitioners?
It is an unofficial, official subset of TikTok. Like the TikTok does not, like the company TikTok does not actually divvy things out based on what kind of content you have.
So there's no dance talk, there's no
streaming.
cosplay talk or anything like that.
Exactly. There isn't officially, but there is. Because you have all these TikTokers who are cosplayers, and all their videos are technically cosplay, cos talk. And then you have all the witches and pagans talking about witchy stuff. That's witch talk. And me, I'm part of Norse talk or heathen talk. And,
okay.
It's kind of an unofficial, official subset of TikTok. It basically just defines the type of videos you typically migrate towards.
Okay. All right. Well, that explains a little bit more. Through a colleague of mine who goes by the Odin Son, I actually learned about you and quite a few other Norse talk individuals because of something I didn't even realize was an issue, the Black Viking controversy that apparently exists. I didn't even know there was a Viking Gate in 2020, but here we are.
Yeah. So Vikings don't exist in the sense that they're seafaring raiders who will lay siege to a town. We don't do that anymore. But the word Viking has kind of evolved. It's changed. And it no longer means seafaring pirate, as it did back in Old Norse. It actually is closer akin to the Old Norse term Drengur, which was a noble warrior, someone who was very much a badass. They did not pick on those who could not hold their own. They didn't start fights for no reason, but they always stood their ground. They were seen as victorious warriors who Odin smiled upon. And that was the actual term that was used back then, was Drengur. And the word Viking now is closer to the word Drengur in its meaning, anyway.
Okay. And
but,
you found a lot of colleagues that happen to be not of the alleged traditional complexion, but they still had the mindset and spirit that you did.
Right. I mean, the thing is, heathenism is a religion. Heathenry is a religion. It is a chosen path of gods that you work with. Being that it is a religion and a spiritual path that you go on, it is not dictated by your ethnicity. There are those who have adopted heathenry basically to for their own purposes. Like they've adopted our religion, but our religion has not adopted them. They were a mindset of they don't want to be Christian anymore because the Judeo-Christian God is Middle Eastern, and they want an all-white religion. So they wanted to adopt a religion that actually originates from traditional European, Scandinavian roots, which would make it completely white. Therefore, they can say that their gods are white and they are white nationalists. And then you got us real heathens who are like, mother trucker, move on. We don't want you here,
Yeah, I mean, some of this is rather confusing. It's 2020, right? And we've got these mindsets like the Crusades are still going on.
Very much. And we're not trying to start a new crusade or anything like that. But we are trying to, like with the new hashtag that I created that's gained quite a bit of popularity now, the League of Tyr. I started the League to basically educate the public at large as to what Norse paganism is truly about. That we are not a religion of hate. We are a very open and accepting religion, and we do not abide by white supremacists, bigots, and racists adopting our symbols, runes, and iconography as symbols of hate. We're not about that. We're actually trying to reclaim our sacred symbols, our sacred runes from these racists and bigots, and trying to educate the people at large to basically say, this is not what it's about. Don't be fooled. Because that's exactly what happened to the swastika. The swastika was actually a holy symbol in many religions, including Buddhism, Jainism, and even Norse paganism to a certain extent. It was a type of sun rune, if I'm not mistaken. But that beautiful symbol that was held in the highest of esteem by many religions before Adolf Hitler adopted it, perverted it, and turned it into a symbol of hate. Nobody can look at a swastika now and think anything other than hate, racism, death. And it's extremely sad because the symbol itself, its origins, are quite beautiful.
Does the same fall in line with like the Iron Cross that was adopted, and I guess someone tried to take it back?
Yeah, very much so. In the information age, where you can gain information at a single fingertip or a click, we are trying to basically prevent what has happened to the swastika from happening to any other sacred religion's symbol, not just ours, but others as well.
I mean, yeah, heaven forbid the Star of David gets perverted sometime soon, or...
Yeah, I mean, it would be no different. It would be no different.
Now, along the lines of your videos, do you just... When you produce them, let's get off this subject. I'm thinking it's getting kind of heavy, and I'm more than certain that if we had an hour, I'd just turn the faucet on and let you go. But for the sake of this, when you're shooting your videos, are you very just simplistic with your tech? Like, do you just use your phone and maybe a microphone, or what? Like, how do you do it?
So it depends on what I'm trying to do. A lot of the content that I do are either A, duets, or B, I use a soundbite that's already on TikTok. And if it's a soundbite that's already on TikTok, there's no need for microphones or anything else like that because I'm just dubbing over a sound. And when I'm again, it depends on the type of video that I'm producing. Sometimes I'll do something just kind of crazy, wackadoo, but the majority of times, the only things that I really need are my costuming, which I'm still in the process of developing. I have it almost where I want it, but it's evolving, it's growing as I am. My face makeup, which is part of the costuming. I have a ring light, which I don't even know the name brand. It's just a ring light that one of my fans actually sent me, if you can believe that.
Oh, well, hey, there you go. That shows that you're clearly getting something done.
So I got a ring light from my fans, and the ring light's also a stand, so that's where I put my my phone. I also have a black twin size sheet, not a fitted sheet, just one of the regular blanket sheets that I have pinned up against the wall in my bedroom as a backdrop, and that's my studio. That's where I do all my filming.
Okay. Now, since it's still circling the drain of news as we speak, there is the rumor, possible fact that come mid-September, TikTok will not be accessible in the States. If that's the case, do you already have a backup plan? Like, are you looking to other channels like Zine, Rizzle, trying some of those?
No, nothing like that. I've tried other platforms similar to TikTok, and no. Honestly, if TikTok is quote-unquote inaccessible to the United States, I have a lovely VPN that I've downloaded on my phone that will make my phone seem like it's not in the United States. I will change my location to Canada and keep filming.
It's funny you should mention that. I was going to bring up if that was a possibility, if you thought this, but you beat me to the punch.
Well, I work for Apple, so I do Apple tech support, so I'm kind of in the know when it comes to different workarounds and different backdoor, solutions.
And it is interesting that you'd mention that, because because no matter what you'd be doing is still considered legal in every aspect. So, oh freaking well.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Our Cheeto in chief can claim that he can ban TikTok in the United States because it poses as a security threat. But number one, he has to prove that it's a security threat. He can't just say, "Oh, it's a security threat, shut it down." He has to prove it, and there's no proof. There's no validatable proof. So he's just mouthing off. And number two, what he's doing right now, I don't know if you've noticed, but Microsoft is in the process of trying to purchase TikTok if they haven't already.
If they had, I'm more than certain the internet would have exploded with the news like, guys, seriously.
Yeah, so here's the thing. The Cheeto-in-Chief has stepped out of his role as president and back into his role as an executive hotshot, and he is trying to help one of his billionaire buddies purchase the app at a steal. What he's doing is he is abusing his power, basically saying, "I'm going to ban the app unless you sell it to an American company." And then, his American CEO buddy, who owns Microsoft, is stepping in saying, "We'll buy it." And he's given China the option: either sell to us, sell to the Americans, or lose a good chunk of your user base, because the majority of TikTok users are actually in the United States. But the thing is, American users and things like that, their servers are in Singapore, which have nothing to do with China. It's an independent sovereignty. There is no evidence whatsoever that any information is being cataloged other than the information that's basically being posted to the World Wide Web via TikTok, which does not, it's not part of the stipulations of, national security information gathering. The most he can do is basically ban government employees from having the TikTok app on their government-issued phones. Beyond that, he doesn't have the capability, he doesn't have the clout to be able to do anything like that. He's just mouthing off, trying to sound big and bad, and honestly trying to abuse his power to help a friend of his buy the company. That's literally what's going on. You just got to read between the lines.
Abuse of power? What?
Yeah, it's not like he's ever done this before.
Oh, yeah, no. We've been living in a wonderful dream world for the past 4 years. For the past 4 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. On to some more upbeat stuff. Due to your image and such, do you by any chance read comics at all?
I do.
Okay. Have you followed Thor recently, or were you more of like growing up when Kirby was still drawing it?
More or less when Kirby was still drawing it. I know that recently Thor is now a woman. I heard a storyline where Thor was made into a woman. It was his daughter, Thorin, who became Thor, God of Thunder.
Yeah,
beyond that, I don't really know too much else going on with the character.
Okay, I mean, and that was one of those things that kind of polarized the audience, which makes me roll my eyes so hard. I'm surprised they haven't fallen out of my throat. But I mean, is that something that really like upset you? Oh my God, Thor has boobs.
No, not at all. And I'll tell you why. Because the Kirby Thor, or the Marvel Thor, is not Thor. Point blank, bottom line, end of discussion.com. It's not Thor. It is an artistic representation. It is a fictitious story that has little to nothing to do with the actual lore. And I will explain. The actual Thor, God of Thunder, was not clean-shaven or blonde. He had a full-on beard, was red-headed, and was described as having a fiery demeanor. So the Marvel Comics version of Thor is not accurate in any way, shape, or form. Their depiction of Odin is much the same. They depicted his eye as being lost in some type of battle during the beginning of time. Odin willingly sacrificed his right eye to drink from the well of knowledge. Now, this is all, lore versus comics. So when they made Thor in Marvel Comics a woman, I was no more upset than I was when they made Thor blonde right from the get-go. It's just a story. It is a fictitious story simply designed for entertainment. It has nothing to do with the religion. And I look at it as such. I look at it as an entertainment story, a wonderful movie series, but I don't take it as canon to my religion. And therefore, I do not take offense to it.
You mean, so you're saying you can actually separate the traditional religious icon Thor from this work of fiction that a comic book publication produced for the sake of writing fiction to the public, and that doesn't affect you at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly...
What a concept.
Exactly. The people who it does bother, it's bothering them for all the wrong reasons. If they had no problem with Thor being blonde and, shall we say, Aryan looking, but they suddenly have an issue with Thor becoming a woman, then that's just showcasing their true colors. It was never about the story. It was never about the culture. It was everything to do with a white blonde male being in power, and now a female is in power, and that shakes their weak little masculinity to its core.
It actually kind of reminds me of a quote-unquote controversial story they did when they had their mature readers line where he appears to have aligned himself with the Axis until he realizes, oh, wait, you guys are hunting down innocent people because of their background? Yeah, I don't approve of that at all. And then he went Nazi killing, and it was really detailed. Like, nothing like seeing Mjolnir just cave in Himmler's skull.
Yeah, I remember that, actually.
Yeah. So, at least that came out of it. But I will say it has been a privilege speaking with you. Hopefully we can do a follow-up, if possible, down the road. Maybe talk about God of War 4, things of that nature, if you wish.
I don't mind at all. I will go on and preface this by saying, and when it comes to anything regarding my religion, I'm an open book. I don't mind talking about my religion. I don't mind speaking on my religion. But as far as my religion being depicted in major media, and that means movies, television shows, fictional books like comic books and Percy Jackson and stuff like that, or video games, you got to remember, those materials are originally designed for entertainment. Therefore, they're not going to be very factual. They may have little bits of truth sprinkled in there, or some bits of historical accuracy sprinkled in there, just for just for authenticity. But by and large, these are works of fiction that are designed for entertainment and should not, I repeat, not be taken as canon to the actual faith. So if you check the link tree in my bio on TikTok, I actually have a link in my link tree called Recommended Reading. That is where you can find all the books that I recommend if you want to learn anything about our faith. Okay, and no matter what the situation, how can people follow you on Instagram and TikTok? Are there any other spots where you are? I am also on YouTube. I'm very active on YouTube. TikTok, I'm more so active on TikTok than I am on YouTube. I've kind of taken a hiatus from YouTube, but I'm still there. YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, all under the same moniker, RadVikingDad. So if you just Google RadVikingDad, you'll find me one way or another. Excellent.
Excellent. Well, it has been an absolute privilege speaking with you. Hope you have a good day. And to everyone else, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Ring that bell to stay notified. And if you have any recommendations of who I should put in the hot seat next, leave a comment down below. If you, my most trusted guest today, suggest anyone, you can either drop me a line or give a shout out to them right now, and maybe we can get the ball rolling on that.
Well, it sounds like you've already spoken to my colleague, William De Leon, the Odinson. I would recommend maybe throwing in Redneck Kirsten in there. He's also on TikTok. He does a lot of videos with me and William Odinson. He's known as Einar Tierson. So you can check him out.
Play on words.
TikTok.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, once again, you have a great day. And the rest of you, see you next time on the hot seat.
Sounds good. School.
School.